attachment.
Hey guys, what's up? Wally with Beach River Landscapes. What are y'all doing back there? Rex, Darcy. Anyways, I want to talk to you guys about something, and this is something that just came up recently, so I figured we would have a talk about it. So it feels kind of good outside. It's only like 80 degrees right now. I know you guys are getting some snow, you're getting some like 40s, you're getting all that stuff. It's still 80 up here. It's like record for October and September. It sucked. What's up, Rexy buddy? It's my boy. So anyways, here's something that came up the other day, right? What, buddy? I'm on camera right now. I can't. He's putting his paws on me. Can't do it, buddy. He'd sit in my lap if I let him. He's ridiculous, aren't you, buddy? So the other day, I went to lunch with a former board member at a property that we used to do. So you guys realize, remember I did a video a while back, and it was about a property where it just didn't mesh because the irrigation was just kind of like crazy. So we ended up not doing the property anymore because the irrigation needs was just out of my scope, man. It was just way too much. They have 22 clocks on this property, bros. Like, it's insane. And it's only like a 29-acre property to maintain. Not only, I mean, it's a big property, but it's 29-acre property and there's 22 clocks. That's a nightmare for anybody. So they ended up just using a company that can just do everything at once. Now, who they got for irrigation, they're amazing. They're really, really good company when it comes to handling the irrigation stuff, man. They're top notch. But the lawn maintenance part just hasn't been doing so well ever since we quit doing it a year ago. So we ended up speaking, and it was a really good lunch, and it was really cool to meet up with him because he's a really good guy. It's another one of those things where I talk to you guys about these commercial properties and having a just having a relationship with them, and because we joke all the time and all that, and it was kind of like, hey, we really miss you on the property all the time, and just kind of miss the conversations because I would do a lot of mowing or whatever while we're out there, and we would just stop and just make jokes and crack jokes and just have fun, and they really miss that because they don't get that with these really big companies, so they just really like that. Not, guys, most of these folks in that position don't care to have that with us, let's just be honest. But that comes back to my last video about client selection and really wanting to focus in on the clients that kind of share our mold, you know what I mean? Like our molds can kind of fit together with what we want in a client, what they want in a landscaper. So it was a really cool lunch. So we ended up talking and all of this and that, and by the end of it, it was, hey, we're having a board meeting tomorrow night, which is tonight. They're having a board meeting, and he's like, I'm gonna tell everybody that that I want you guys back. He said that ever since you left, he's like, and I've been on the board for 6 years. We were there almost 2 years. So he was on the board almost 6 years, and he's like, and it's just one thing that has just come up, and it was cool. His quote was, "Nobody cuts grass like Wally." So that was just a really big compliment to hear, and just just said how much he just loved our maintenance. And we're really good on the irrigation side, but we just really failed on that irrigation side. It was just too much for us. It was just too much, man. We subbed out a guy and he was really good, but dude, it was just too much. You need like a squad. You need a military like squad out there. So the company that came after, they did a really good job with the irrigation. I mean, it took them a month and a half just to map out the clock, the irrigation. Map out the zones. That's how intense and insane it is. Usually it takes you a couple days, maybe a week, to really map out properties this size. It took them a month and a half. It was crazy. Now the irrigation guy that I work with now is ridiculous, and he once ran the most respected landscape company, I think, in all of Jacksonville. So I work with him closely, and he's amazing. But so the meeting was, if you like the irrigation where they're at now, of course I got a guy that can do that too. But see if you can work something out where they just maintain that part and we take over the maintenance. That way it's just kind of, we do our thing, they do their thing. It's just only this property. Other properties we handle irrigation just fine. Yeah, this one was like crazy, guys. It was just crazy. So, so we're just gonna see how that pans out. But it brings me to my point. There was a lot said. Y'all could care less. But it brings me to, the subject matter is, should you take back a previous client? So this is a largely debated topic. Straighten up my hat for this one. This is a largely debated topic. More times than not, I say, hell no. Hell no. There's a reason why you stopped working together in the first place. You just have to remember why it is you stopped working together in the first place. What, Darcy? What is it, Darcy? I'm not gonna yell at him in this video. Calm down, everybody. I got so much trouble for yelling at Darcy. Come here, Darcy. Come here, you can get on my lap. Come here, buddy. Rex, get out of the way, you're jealous. Darcy, come here. Come here, buddy, over here. Come here. Come on. Rex will not stop trying to get my lap. Darcy, come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. All right, so this is Darcy, guys. This is the one I yelled at in that one video. But listen, I know he's little and you think he's cute, but dude, he has bitten me. He's bitten me like 10, 12 times. Oh yeah, you're being nice now because I gave him the haircuts. I do a good job though. Check this out. Like I cut his hair. I give him both haircuts. Like I trim him up. I give him that like biker look. I love it, man. Little cutie. But dude, he bites me all the time. You know what I'm saying? And so whatever. But he's being good right now. All right, get down. So one thing about him, man, when he goes outside, you can just give him a bath, just shave him. He's better when he's shaved. But when he goes outside, he comes back in, he smells like a rotten animal, dude. I don't know what it is. He'll be outside for 2 minutes, and he comes back inside, you go, oh, bleh. And dude, you have to like turn on the ceiling fans, evacuate it, like call a company out here. It's ridiculous, man. Stay over here. Good boy. Rex is awesome. So anyway, I'm jumping off topic because I do that all the time. So it is a largely debatable, debated question. So you got to remember why you stopped working with them in the first place, and then bring yourself to that client selection category. So the reason that this particular, and I've taken back a couple of clients in the past, almost every time when they call me back, I say no because I remember why we stopped working with each other. And sometimes it works out and you can stay there a long time and it works out. It's, forgiveness, you can move on and things can be good. But this particular client, I actually loved the place. I actually miss being there. Here's what I told him yesterday. So-and-so, I don't need your property, but I really want your property. Like I want it back, I want it back and I don't want to do this part. I don't want to do that part, but I definitely want your property back. So it was just a really good conversation. And like I said, with this particular client, yes, I would absolutely take them back. I would make the room for it. We have kind of a day free right now anyways. So we've just done some compressing because we're getting into October. It's just how you do it, man. You got to figure out ways to save money and all that. So we've done some compressions, so we can fit them in. It'd be the normal day we used to do them anyway. So I'll find out probably the next few days. They want us to come there and do some cleanup work anyways because the company is left in disarray. They don't edge anything. Like, they haven't changed out the flowers there, dude. It's supposed to be 4 times a year. They haven't changed the flowers out since I left over a year ago. It's just crazy. So they're really missing us bad. So I said definitely yes, and I told him I would love to go back. So that's not very often. I can tell you there's a lot of people that we have been let go. I'll be honest with you. I'm always honest with you, but we have let go properties, and we have been let go on properties for the dumbest reasons, man. But anyways, this particular guy, this particular HOA, I love them. I love them. I would like to go back, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I would actually be happy going back. Not like people call me back, God, I need the money. I don't want to do it, but fine, I'll go. I'm never doing that again. I'm never, ever doing that again. But it is a really good question. Do you take back former clients? Because yes, it happens all the time, bros. You guys know that. It happens all the time. You may never have experienced a former client calling you back. You may never have. And it's no big deal if you haven't. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. or maybe there is, I don't know. But if somebody calls you back, I just say, remember why you haven't worked with them in the first place. And you may be in a tight spot and you may have to take them back, just to get to the next thing. But if you do have to take them back and you do decide to take them back because you feel you have no choice, you know what not to do. You already know what to do, but you know what not to do. It's not enough to know what to do, I think. People are like, oh, I know how to do this, I know how to do this. We need to learn what not to do. You know what I'm saying? Do you follow what I'm saying? You got to learn what not to do. And that took me a long time to do that. It's like when I train the guys how to do lawn maintenance on a property, big property, small property, a house, doesn't matter. I tell them there's one simple concept to making lawn maintenance look professional. And I learned this in the class, going to spray weeds. I'll never forget what the instructor said. She said, anything that does not belong, you consider that a weed. And I took that mentality, and sometimes the smallest things that are said to us impact us in the biggest way. It's like my football coach said the dumbest crap to me, and it impacted me in the biggest way, in a negative way, really, because it made me leave, being, coaches from big schools looking, all this stuff, and blah, blah, and I left it because of stuff that he said, and I shouldn't have let it impact me. But you're young, you don't know. And as you grow up, you learn what to take as a good, thing to impact you and what's a bad thing. But when I was in this class for spraying weeds, it was something that I don't know why it hit me. It's like my mom has said something, you eat with your eyes first. That's my mentality in landscape maintenance. We're not perfect, guys. We screw up. We have had properties where I have not been on the property for so many weeks, and I have shown up and it looked like the place was abandoned, and I wanted to throw up in my mouth and my feet tingled. You know what I'm saying? And I've been shocked that I wasn't fired. You know what I'm saying? So when you have employees, never has a property look like that when it was just me and I was doing like solo lawn care. I can say that unequivocally, never. But when you have employees and you have good guys, and sometimes you don't have all good guys, and it's really hard on these guys to get everything done when not everybody's there, it's rough, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But not perfect, but we all try our best. That's what we do at the end of the day. And so with trying our best, I incorporate certain slogans with the guys to try to help them grasp things. The whole hey, you break a piece of equipment, that's how you make your money. That whole thing, they've really adopted that. They're good with the equipment. But you treat everything that does not belong as a weed, right? So I tell them, when you show up to a property, look for what's wrong. Don't look for what's right. Look for what's wrong. You know what I mean? That whole mentality, if it doesn't belong, it's a weed. Don't look for what is all nice and perfect and flawless, you know what I'm saying? Look for the mess. Look for the weed on the property. Look for what does not belong. Everything's great. Look for hedges that are sticking up. One too many shooters, that hedge needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? The weeds are over a couple of inches tall, we just need to burn them out, rip it out. You know what I'm saying? Look for, have your radar looking for the negative when you show up to a property, because that's what the clients do. You know what I'm saying? It's what they do all day long. It's what they do, man. Eat with your eyes first. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm going off into a little tangent on the side here. But anyways, it still all comes down to the type of work that you do, that you want to do, and that you want to share with your clients. You know what I'm saying? Ignore my little rant. I just do that, y'all. But going back to a client, you grow, you learn things, and like I said, learning what you're not going to do is a really big part of it. So you guys leave a comment down below. Tell me what you honestly think. If a customer calls you to come back, what do you do? How many times have you said yes? How many times have you said no? And if you said no, I literally want to read why you said no. I have said no to clients. I had a client, we were blowing out the leaves in her yard. She wanted us to rake them up. And I'm like, well, you don't thatch, you don't do that on St. Augustine grass, because the runners are on top of the soil, not underneath it. You'll break a runner and you start killing off grass. And I mean, cussing out the guys, telling us we're stupid because she was from up north and they, de-thatch and all that. We don't do that down here. And it was just crazy. Those kinds of things, or somebody that just really treats you like you're insignificant. But there is something to be said about somebody that has no communication and all you do do is show up for a check. There's nothing wrong with that either. But again, leave me a comment, let me know why you have said no and why you have said yes, and I would love to read that stuff. And I'll update you guys and let you know if we end up actually starting this property back up. All right, I'm gonna go. Leah, see her just pulling up. She just got back from school. She's in school like all day on Wednesdays, nurse practitioner. She learned how to do sutures today. She spent a whole career watching them get done, you know, as a nurse. So today she's learning how to do it. That could come in handy, y'all know what I'm saying? All right, y'all, peace out.